It's late, or it feels late in that way your body knows. Even if the clock is arguing about the exact time, you're already in bed. On your back, maybe, on your side, staring into the dark or into the ceiling you can't really see. Your eyes might be tired, but your mind is still moving. Maybe it's replaying a conversation from earlier. Maybe it's scrolling through tomorrow's list, circling the same 3 things you didn't get to today. Maybe you've already tried the usual tricks. A different playlist, one more scroll, a breathing app you half followed before giving up. You made it here anyway. That's not nothing. You found this, you pressed play, you're lying down. For tonight, that's all that counts. You don't have to be good at sleep. You don't have to prove you deserve rest. Here's how this will work. I'll keep talking, I'll keep you company. You don't have to hang on every word. You don't have to focus or concentrate or get anything right. If your thoughts wander, that's fine. If you drift in and out, that's more than fine. If you stay awake but feel a little less squeezed by tomorrow, that's a win too. Think of this as something happening next to you, not something you have to perform. Your only job right now is to lie here. That's it. The words can wash past you or catch on a phrase here and there. There's no test at the end, no moment where you have to prove you were paying attention. So for a moment, forget about doing this correctly. Forget about whether it will work or how long it will take. You've already done the hard part. You got through today and you made it to this bed. Feel that just a little. The fact that your body is horizontal, that gravity is finally working with you instead of against you. Notice the way the mattress holds you up, the way it meets you along the back of your legs, your hips, your shoulders. Your pillow is doing its quiet job too. The way it cups the back of your head or fits under your cheek. Maybe there's a spot that's a little more flattened, the place you always seem to find. Your head knows that shape. It's familiar, even on a restless night. There's fabric against your skin, sheets, soft or cool, or just there. You might feel a crease under your calf or a fold under your hand. The blanket has its own weight resting over your legs, over your middle, tucking you into this one small piece of the world. Notice the air on your face. Maybe it's a little cooler on your cheeks than it is under the covers. Maybe the tip of your nose feels the difference between inside the blanket and out. The air has a quiet of its own, a stillness that doesn't ask you for anything. Listen just for a moment to the sounds around you. There might be a hum from somewhere in the room, a heater, a fan, the distant rush of a road. Maybe a fridge in another part of the house, a pipe settling, someone else moving far away from this bed. Or maybe it's almost completely quiet, the kind of quiet where even small sounds feel big. Your body is here in all of that. Your shoulders might still be holding something from earlier. That's okay. Your jaw might be a little tight, your hands might be curled or flat or tucked under a pillow. You don't have to change any of it yet. Just notice the way you're arranged in this exact moment. Somewhere under all the thoughts, your chest is rising and falling. Air goes in, air goes out. You don't need to deepen it or slow it down. It's been doing this all day without you watching. Now you're just catching it in the act, the simple rhythm that kept going while your mind was busy. Feel the contact points between you and the bed, the back of your head, the weight of your shoulder blades, or the side of your ribs if you're turned. The curve of your hips, the heaviness of your legs, the soft press of your heels or the tops of your feet against the sheet. The bed is taking all of that weight. You don't have to hold yourself up. If there's a part of you that's still braced, still ready to stand or answer or react, it can experiment with doing just 1% less. Not all the way, just a small test. What happens if this bed carries a little more of you? The room around you is doing its quiet work too. The walls are standing where they always stand. The door is however you left it, closed or slightly open, the same way it is on ordinary nights when nothing special is happening. Whatever needed your attention earlier is somewhere else now, not in this rectangle of mattress and blankets. Here, just here, that's the whole thing, and not tomorrow's emails, not the thing you said that you wish you'd said differently, not the appointment, the deadline, the conversation you're rehearsing in your head. Right now, it's just your body, this bed, this room, this breath. Tomorrow might still feel heavy when you think about it. You can feel that weight pressing on the edge of your thoughts, waiting for you to pick it back up. But you don't have to carry all of it while you're lying here in the dark. You can set it down just to the side for a while, like putting a heavy bag on the floor next to the bed. Notice something very small and ordinary. The way one finger rests against another. The spot where your sleeve ends on your arm. The texture of the pillowcase under your fingertips, or the way a strand of hair brushes your forehead. These tiny details belong to tonight, not to tomorrow. The slight warmth under the blanket where your knees have been. The cooler patch if you move your foot to a place it hasn't been resting. The soft resistance of the mattress if you press your heel down and then stop. Your breath keeps moving, in and out. Maybe it's a little shallow. Maybe it's already starting to slow without you asking it to. Each time it comes and goes, your body knows exactly what to do, even if your thoughts are still loud. If your mind wanders back to tomorrow, that's all right. You might suddenly remember something you meant to do, or a phrase from earlier might pop back in. You don't have to wrestle with it. You can notice it the way you'd notice a car passing on a distant street, then come back to the feeling of your body on the mattress. The blanket is still over you. The pillow is still holding your head. The night is doing what nights do, moving forward at its own slow pace, without needing you to manage it. You're tucked inside that movement, but you don't have to keep track of it. If your eyes are open, they can rest on the dark shapes around you or on nothing at all. If they're closed, there might be colors or patterns behind them, or just a kind of soft grey. Either way is fine. There's no right version of how this should look or feel. This is a place where you don't have to answer anything. No messages, no questions, no decisions. Just this steady, quiet contact between your body and the bed that's holding you up. Just this gentle, ordinary breathing that has carried you all the way to this moment. As we go on, the words will keep coming, like a low conversation in another room you can hear, but don't have to join. You can listen closely, or you can drift. You can stay right on the surface of awareness, or sink a little deeper into the feeling of being here. For now, stay with these simple things. The weight of your body, the touch of fabric and pillow and blanket, the soft, familiar sounds of this particular night in this particular room, with you lying right where you are. The weight of your body has already begun to settle. Now imagine you have just reached the doorway of your own evening, not a doorway you have to pass through quickly. A familiar threshold, the kind you can lean against for a moment, shoulder resting on the frame, as if the day were a heavy coat you are almost ready to shrug off. Feel your actual body where it is now. The support beneath you is the floor of this quiet home you are entering. Your back, your legs, the curve of your head against pillow or mattress. This is the hallway where you arrive. In your mind, there is a door in front of you. The outside of it still carries the faint chill of the day. The metal of the handle is cool under your palm, solid, a little heavier than you expect. You wrap your fingers around it, and for a breath, you just stand there. Your real hand might be resting at your side, or on your stomach, or against the blanket. Feel its weight, its warmth, its stillness, as if that hand is the one on the handle, pausing, sensing the difference between what is outside and what waits inside. Each exhale is the soft turn of that handle, a slow, easy motion, no rush. The latch gives with a small, quiet release, like a sigh you didn't know you were holding. The door swings inward. The air on the other side is different, softer, warmer, or maybe just calmer. It doesn't push at you, it simply waits. You cross the threshold without needing to move a muscle. Your body stays exactly where it is, and yet some part of you steps in. Behind you, the open doorway still holds the dim echo of the day. Ahead, there is only the gentle hush of evening rooms. Notice how your shoulders feel right now. Imagine them as the strap of a bag that has been cutting in all day. You slide that strap off. The bag drops just inside the door with a soft, padded thump. In your body, that is the small shift as your shoulders ease down, as the muscles along your neck loosen a little. Whatever you were carrying in that bag can stay zipped. You don't have to unpack it. It can sit there in the entryway, waiting like shoes left by the mat. Your breath knows this. In, out. The simple rhythm of arriving. Your feet, wherever they rest, have their own story of the day. Toes that curled in shoes, heels that pressed against floors and steps and ground. Now imagine your shoes coming off at the door. You lean on one leg, then the other, and slip them away. In real time, your feet might just be resting, but feel how they could spread if they wanted, how they might soften, as if touching a familiar rug or cool, smooth tile, or the gentle give of worn wood. The kind of floor that remembers you. The air in this inner room touches your skin differently. Maybe it's a little warmer than the hallway outside. Maybe there's a slight coolness that brushes the back of your hands, the line of your forearms, the side of your face. It's the feeling of a space that has been waiting without urgency. Your arms hang a little heavier now. Picture yourself setting down another bag, maybe one you forgot you were holding, the kind that tugs at your hand with its weight. You place it beside the first, near the door. The handles fold in on themselves. They stay upright for a second, then slowly slouch, giving in to gravity. In your body, that is your arms resting more fully. Your hands no longer gripping anything. Fingers gently curved, unoccupied. The fabric beneath them receives that small weight with quiet acceptance. Ahead of you, this home of your evening opens into simple, welcoming rooms. But for now, you stay near the doorway. This is the place where the outside world stops following you in. Hear the sounds of the day grow muffled. Listen, just for a moment, to whatever distant noises exist around you now. Traffic far away, a hum of something mechanical, a voice, a door, a faint clink. These are like sounds from the street that drift in when the door is still open a crack. Then, with your next slow breath out, imagine reaching back and resting your hand on the inside of the door. The wood is smooth, maybe a little cool. You feel the slight resistance as you begin to close it. The gap narrows. The outside sounds soften, as if someone is turning down a dimmer switch. Your attention moves closer to your own breathing, the quiet of this inner space. The latch meets the frame with a soft, definite click. Not loud, just enough to say, "That's done for now." The line where outside ends and inside begins is clear. Your eyelids, if they are closed, are like that door. They have already drawn shut or are slowly drifting down. Behind them, the bright details of the day grow fainter, like a hallway fading into shadow. In front of them, this room of rest grows more distinct. Feel the weight of your head where it rests. The pillow or surface beneath it is like the wall just inside the door, the one you lean your back against when you finally come home. It supports you without asking anything in return. You don't have to hold your own weight upright. You can simply lean. The air around your chest has its own gentle temperature. Noticing it doesn't mean you need to change it. Each breath moves like someone slowly sliding the deadbolt across. One soft, smooth motion, not to shut anything out with force, but to complete the feeling that, for now, everything that needed to be done out there has been done as far as tonight is concerned. Your legs rest where they are, long or curled, heavy or light. Think of them as you might think of a coat shrugged from your shoulders and hung on its hook. The fabric still holds the shape of your day, but it no longer clings to you. It just hangs there, the weight carried by something else. The blanket over you or the air against your clothes is the familiar interior of this home. Soft, quiet, unremarkable in the best way. You know the feel of it like you know the way from the door to the nearest chair, even in the dark. There is a small table near this inner doorway in your mind, the place where keys are always dropped. Imagine the sound they make as they leave your hand, that light scattered clink as metal meets wood or ceramic. That sound is another tiny part of you settling. You might think of those keys as all the things you use to unlock the world. Access codes, roles, responsibilities. For tonight, they can stay in that shallow bowl by the door. Your pockets are empty. Feel your hands again. If they wish, they can mirror that motion. A small release. Fingers uncurling as if they've just placed something down and stepped away from it. The lighting in this inner space is low, soft, like the last lamp left on in the evening. You don't need to see it clearly. You can feel it in the way your body no longer braces against brightness. The muscles around your eyes soften, as though the room has dimmed itself for you. Behind the closed door, the world continues in its own way, but it no longer presses against you. The walls of this place hold the quiet, the ceiling, the floor, the corners, all of them steady, unmoving, asking nothing. Here, in this entryway of rest, you stand without standing, lie without effort. You have crossed the threshold, you have put your things down. The weight of your limbs against the bed is like those bags resting by the door. They are not gone. They are simply not in your hands anymore. They can stay right where they are, untouched, while you move deeper into the soft rooms of the night. For now, all you need is this, the feeling of having arrived, the door gently closed behind you, the quiet of an evening home beginning to gather around your body, like a room that has been waiting with the light already on. The air around you carries a gentle stillness now, as if the whole room has taken a soft, quiet breath and is holding it with you. Your body rests where it is, supported, held by the surface beneath you. Notice the way the mattress rises up to meet your weight, the way the fabric under you has its own quiet patience. It does not hurry you. It simply shapes itself around the curves of your body and waits. This room is made of small comforts, the kind that do not ask for attention, but offer it anyway. The way the pillow cups the back of your head, the way the blanket settles along your legs, like a soft, steady hand resting there. The walls around you stand like calm, steady guardians, not dramatic, just present, holding the edges of this space so that you do not have to hold anything at all. Feel the air on your skin. Maybe there is a slight coolness on your cheeks or hands. Maybe the air is warm and still, like it has been sitting here all evening, waiting for you to arrive. Either way, it wraps around you, thin and quiet, filling the small spaces between you and everything else. Your body knows this room. Even if you are somewhere new, your body recognizes the language of a room made for rest. The softened light, the way shadows gather in corners instead of sharp lines, the way sounds from outside arrive muted, as though the walls have gently cupped them, softening their edges before they reach you. Listen for those sounds now. Faraway noises, if there are any. A car passing in the distance, a faint hum in the building, maybe the soft creak of the structure settling as the night deepens. Each sound that comes from beyond these walls can drift through and then move on. You do not need to follow it. You can simply notice that it passes, the way a breeze might brush a curtain and then fall still again. Here in this room, your body can lower its guard. The furniture is not going anywhere. The bed will not shift away from you. The blanket will not decide to stop being warm. Feel how steady everything is. The floor beneath the bed beneath you, your own weight resting downward. Your limbs have their own quiet gravity, your arms lying where they are, heavy in their place. Your hands, maybe resting on your stomach or by your sides or tucked into the softness of the blanket. Notice how they no longer need to reach for anything. The weight of your heels against the mattress. Feel how they press down, how the fabric dips just slightly, making a small hollow that belongs only to you in this moment. The bed does not resist. It receives that pressure without complaint, holding it, holding you. Overhead, the ceiling is like a calm, blank sky of plaster and paint. It does not ask you to think about it. It simply exists above you, closing the room gently, so your attention does not have to wander far. Maybe there is a soft glow from a lamp, or the dim light that slips in from another room, or from outside. It does not glare. It simply brushes the edges of furniture, a faint outline on a chair, a gentle line along the wall. Enough to know that everything is where it should be. Your eyes can grow heavier in this light. They do not need to stay busy. If they are open, they can rest on something simple, a corner of the room, the curve of the ceiling, the fold of the blanket near your chest. If they are closed, the room continues to hold you just the same. The shapes are still there, the walls are still standing, and the bed is still beneath you, steady and unquestioning. Feel how the room is not asking anything from you. The chair in the corner is content to be only a chair. The table is content to be only a table. They are not waiting for you to do anything with them. Your breath moves in this quiet space, in, out, like a small, regular visitor that the room has grown used to. Notice how the air enters through your nose, cool or warm, then leaves again, changed by the warmth inside you. This tiny movement is the only thing that shifts in a room where everything else is still. Your chest rises a little, falls a little. The blanket over you lifts and settles with that rhythm. Around you, the walls keep their quiet. They have seen days and nights come and go. They have watched light move across them, from morning brightness to evening dim. Tonight, they simply stand, holding in the softness of this space, keeping the rest of the world a little farther away. If there is a door, imagine it gently closed, not slammed, just resting in its frame. A simple wooden boundary that says, in its own wordless way, that this is your room for now. The floor under everything is firm and unmoving. It carries the bed, the furniture, the weight of the room itself. And through all of that, it carries you. You do not have to think about how it does this. It has been doing it all along. There might be small details your body notices without effort. The faint smell of clean fabric, a trace of your own shampoo on the pillowcase, the subtle scent of the room itself, familiar or new but gentle. These are quiet signals that this space can hold you. Soft messages from the objects around you. The blanket saying, "In its own way, I will stay where you left me." The pillow saying, "I will keep your head right here." Your jaw can loosen in this room. Your shoulders can sink a little deeper into the mattress. The muscles along your spine can spread out as though they are finally allowed to take up all the space they need. Feel the way the back of your body meets the bed, the back of your head, your shoulder blades, your ribs, your hips, your thighs, your calves. Each point of contact is another quiet agreement between you and the room. I will rest here and you will hold me. The air does not rush. It moves slowly, if at all. Maybe there is the slightest current, a gentle brush across your forehead or the side of your neck. Or maybe everything is still, like the room itself is pausing alongside you. Even the shadows seem unhurried. They sit in corners, soft-edged, not hiding anything, just resting. Nothing in this room is sharp or urgent. Everything is softened by distance, by dimness, by time. If a thought arrives, it can be like a person stepping briefly into the doorway of this room. You can notice it, you can nod to it, and then you can watch it step back out again, leaving the door gently closed behind it. Here, your body is the most important thing. The weight of your legs, the warmth gathering under the blanket, the way your feet are held by fabric and mattress, toes no longer needed for balance or movement. Your hands might feel heavier now, more settled, as if each finger has found its own small resting place in this room. They do not need to hold on to anything. The room is doing the holding for you. The walls hold the space. The floor holds the bed holds your body, and your breath moves through all of it, slow and quiet, like a soft thread stitching you gently into this place. Here, in this room made for rest, time can thin out a little. Minutes do not need to be counted. They can stretch, like the shadows along the baseboards, long and easy. You can simply be a body in a quiet room. Nothing more complicated than that. The light is soft, the air is kind, the walls stand steady, and you, here, are held by all of it, just as you are, in this moment. In this room that asks for nothing and offers only this, a place to set your weight down and let the night come closer. The air around you carries a slight coolness now, as if the day itself has stepped back a little, as if the world has taken one quiet pace toward evening. Inside your body there is that same soft shift, a slow turning from the brightness of doing, toward the dimmer, gentler light of simply being here. Breathe in, easy, unforced. And as you breathe out, imagine you are sitting in a garden at twilight. The last light of the day is fading, not suddenly, but in a kind of graceful retreat. Shapes are still clear, but their edges are softer. Colors are still present, but they have lowered their voices. Your breath is like the air moving through this garden. On the in-breath, the air glides in along a narrow path, cool and steady, brushing against leaves and stems. On the out-breath, it flows back out, warmer now, carrying the quiet story of everything it has touched. Feel the inhale as it enters through your nose. A thin, gentle stream like evening air slipping between tall plants. Notice the tiny coolness at the tip of your nose, the way the passage of air draws a line of sensation down the back of your throat into the open space of your chest. Then feel the exhale, the soft warmth leaving, like breath passing between clusters of flowers that have begun to close for the night. Nothing dramatic, just a slow, natural folding in. In this twilight garden, the plants are settling. You can almost sense the way each stem loosens, how each leaf, which held itself up to the sun all day, now allows its weight to fall back toward the earth. Let your shoulders be like those leaves. They have been lifted toward the demands of the day, held up, turned outward. Now with your next out-breath, feel them droop a little. Not collapsed, just released from duty. They sink down and slightly out as if resting against the cool, invisible air of the garden around you. The weight of your hands has its own quiet gravity. Imagine them as two small patches of soft soil, still warm from the sun that has just left. Your fingers are like small stems resting on that earth. They do not need to reach for anything now. They can simply lie there, rooted in stillness, held by the ground beneath them. Each breath out is like the garden's light dimming by a single shade. Not all at once, just a gradual deepening of blue in the sky above the plants, a soft thickening of shadow under each leaf. As the light fades, your muscles follow it inward. Notice your face, the space between your eyebrows. During the day, it might have been like a tight bud, pulled in, furrowed, concentrating. Now imagine that small bud slowly opening, then loosening so much it no longer needs to hold any shape at all. With your exhale, that space smooths, like soil gently patted flat after a long day of growth. Your jaw can join this evening's settling. All day it has been a gate, opening and closing, holding words, holding silence, holding back what was too much. Now in the garden of your body, the gate is no longer needed. The hinges soften, your teeth drift a little apart, your tongue rests heavy and quiet, like a fallen petal lying undisturbed on the ground. Breathing in, you trace the main path of this inner garden. The air enters, passes down the front of your throat, spreads into your chest. Breathing out, that same air flows back along the path, but slower now, like someone walking home at dusk, with no hurry left in their steps. Feel your chest rise with the inhale, not high, not forced, just a gentle lifting the way a cluster of leaves might stir when a light breeze passes through. Then feel the chest fall with the exhale, like those same leaves settling back into their original place, as if they always meant to be exactly there. Under your ribs, your lungs are like two shaded clearings. With every breath in, they fill with cool evening air, the way a quiet corner of the garden fills with shadow. With every breath out, some of that fullness drains away, and what remains is softer, calmer, easier. Move your attention down to your belly. This is the dark, rich soil of your garden, deep, receptive, and patient. As you inhale, notice a gentle swelling there, the way earth rises just a little when roots drink in what they need. As you exhale, feel your belly fall, like soil sinking back into itself, content with the water it has taken in. There is a quiet intelligence in the way a garden knows when the day is done. Leaves turn inward. Petals fold. Stems stop reaching. Your body has that same knowing. Even if your thoughts still wander like small insects, your muscles understand evening. They understand how to soften. Bring your awareness to your back now. From the base of your skull, down along the line of your spine, all the way to the back of your hips. Imagine your spine as a slender garden path, curving gently through beds of plants. During the day, this path has carried weight, footsteps, movement, tasks. Now, with each breath out, the path clears. No one is walking it, it simply lies there, quiet and undisturbed under the dimming sky. The muscles on either side of your spine are like small hedges, trimmed and alert in the bright hours. Feel them soften now, their sharp edges rounding, their effort melting back toward the center. They do not need to stand so straight in the dark. They can lean in toward the path, growing a little looser, a little wilder in the privacy of this evening. Notice your hips, the broad, sturdy ground of your body. They are like two low garden walls, solid, steady, holding everything within. All day they have supported your steps, your sitting, your turning. Now they settle into stillness, their weight sinking down like stone cooling after sun. With each exhale, feel that cooling deepen, a slow, spreading heaviness that feels like rest. Your legs stretch out from those hips, like long garden beds running toward the edge of the light. Thighs, knees, shins, ankles. They have carried you again and again. In this twilight, they no longer need to move. Imagine the muscles unwinding fiber by fiber like vines that stop climbing and simply hang soft and unhurried along a quiet fence. The weight of your heels against whatever holds them is its own small piece of evening. Notice how they press down, how the surface beneath them gives just enough, cradling that pressure without complaint. Your feet, which have known so many paths, are now like small, still patches of earth, where nothing is asked to grow tonight. Above all of this, the sky of your inner garden grows darker. Not heavy, not threatening, just deeper. The kind of darkness that makes colors disappear, so that shape and feeling can be known more clearly. Behind your closed eyes, there is a similar sky. A wide, quiet space where thoughts can pass like faint silhouettes of leaves, but do not need to be followed. You can feel them drift across and then feel them move on the way you might watch the last movements of birds, without getting up from your seat. Each breath in is a soft survey of this garden, a gentle, wordless noticing of how things are. Each breath out is a small release of effort, like a plant deciding not to grow any further tonight. Here, in this evening garden of your body, everything that needed to reach has already reached. Everything that needed light has already had its share. For now, it is enough to rest in the cooling air, to feel the slow rhythm of inhale and exhale, and to trust that, like the garden, you can set your growing aside until a new morning comes. Each exhale settles a little more now. The body has begun to understand this quiet rhythm. Muscles that were once busy are softer. The breath moves in and out like a slow, steady tide of air inside your chest. Behind your closed eyes, there is a kind of darkness. Not empty, not blank, more like the deep color of a sky just before dawn, waiting. Imagine that now. Inside your mind, a wide, open sky, so much space, stretching in every direction. Vast, steady, always there. Thoughts appear, of course, they always do. But in this sky, they are only clouds, shapes passing through something much larger, much quieter. Feel your next inhale as a gentle rising. The chest lifts, the ribs widen a little, as if a soft breeze is moving through this inner sky. And as you breathe out, notice a settling. The shoulders sink, the jaw loosens, clouds drift a little farther apart. You might sense a thought about tomorrow, a plan, and a worry, a what if. See it as a small cloud forming on the horizon of this inner sky, not right in front of you, not taking over, just a patch of shifting shape, far away enough to see clearly. Your forehead smooths as you breathe in. The tiny muscles around your eyes soften. The space behind your eyes feels wide, like clear air high above the ground. In that space, clouds can come and go. They can be bright or heavy, thin or thick. They may move slowly or seem to hang in place. But the sky behind them does not strain. Let your awareness rest in that sky now, not chasing each cloud, not pushing them away. Simply noticing that they float in something that does not move with them. Feel the weight of your head where it rests, the gentle pull of gravity, as if your head were a small, quiet moon, held in place while the sky stretches around it. With your next exhale, allow your tongue to relax from the roof of your mouth. The back of the throat softens. The breath can slide in and out more easily, like wind moving through open air. Thoughts may gather like a cluster of clouds. You might see a whole weather system of tomorrow. Lists, conversations, decisions, all swirling together. Instead of stepping into that storm, stay with the sky. Notice how, even when clouds cover everything, the sky is not gone. It is simply hidden for a while, patient, unchanged. Your chest rises again. Feel the air brushing the inside of your nose, cool on the way in, warm as it leaves, like air that has passed through sunlight. Imagine that each inhale reveals a little more blue behind the clouds, not forcing them apart, just gently brightening the space around them. Your shoulders may still hold a bit of tension. As you breathe out, picture that tightness as a thin mist, a pale cloud that slowly unravels at the edges, growing softer, more transparent, until you can almost see right through it. The sky behind your thoughts does not judge any of them. It does not decide which cloud should stay, which should leave. It simply offers room. Endless room. Notice your hands now, the way they rest. Maybe there is a slight warmth in your palms or a sense of heaviness in your fingers. Imagine each hand as a small patch of open sky too. Any tingling, any buzzing, any leftover urge to move, like tiny wisps of cloud dissolving as they spread out. Breath moves. Clouds move. The sky remains. There might be a thought that feels dark, like a storm cloud. Thick, full of weight, full of tomorrow. See if you can step back just a little, as if you were watching that cloud from far away, high above. You can see its edges. You can see that even this heavy shape is held by the same wide sky. Your belly rises gently with the next inhale. The fabric against your skin shifts just a little. On the exhale, the belly softens, sinking back toward the spine like a cloud slowly losing its rain. Sometimes a quick flicker of thought may pass, like a small bird crossing the sky. A memory, a sound, a random image. You do not need to follow its flight. Just notice the brief movement and then the stillness that returns after it has gone. The sky does not chase the bird, it simply remains open. Feel the curve of your spine against the surface beneath you, the way it is supported. As if you were lying on a high, quiet plateau of air, with miles of sky above and within. The muscles along your back can unwind now, each exhale a slight release, like layers of cloud slowly thinning, revealing lighter air underneath. If a thought insists on staying, that is all right. It can be a slow-moving cloud, lingering. You do not have to push it away or fix it. Just keep noticing that even this too is floating in something larger. Your breath is that larger thing. Steady, kind, always returning. Inhale. The sky inside you brightens just a touch. Exhale. Clouds drift, even if only a few inches. The space behind your forehead feels wider now. The small muscles at your temples loosen, like a sky no longer squeezed by weather. There is room for everything to spread out. If you sense tightness in your chest, see it as a compact knot of cloud. Dense, maybe a little grey. With each slow breath, imagine tiny threads of light weaving through it, making small openings, pockets of clear air. Not all at once, just a little more space with each inhale, a little more softness with each exhale. Far in the distance of this inner sky, you might glimpse shapes you cannot quite name. Faint outlines of ideas, half-formed images. They do not need your attention tonight. They can stay as distant shapes on the horizon, barely there, barely important. The sky holds them without effort. Feel again the weight of your legs, the contact of your heels, the quiet pressure where your body meets what supports you. As your legs grow heavier, imagine them sinking gently into a calm, high layer of air. So supported that they no longer need to stand, to move, to carry anything. They can just rest, like clouds that have finally stopped traveling. The breath continues, a soft wind through this inner atmosphere, not strong enough to disturb, just enough to keep everything fresh. Thoughts may still appear, some small like thin streaks of white, some large like blankets of grey, all of them passing through. You are not the clouds, you are the sky that holds them, wide, quiet, unbroken, even when covered. As the next few breaths come and go, rest in that sense of wideness. The mind as sky, the thoughts as passing weather. Tomorrow can swirl and gather up there if it wants to. It can build its shapes, form its patterns. Tonight you can stay closer to the clear, open air underneath it all. Breath in, sky. Breath out, clouds drifting. Again and again, until even the clouds grow tired of moving, and the sky behind your thoughts feels like a vast, calm evening, stretching on without hurry. Each exhale closes a little more of the outside world, like the quiet thud of a book finding its place on a shelf. Breath in, breath out, a slow, steady rhythm. Inside, behind your closed eyes, a different space begins to appear. A long, quiet room. A library that exists only in the dark behind your forehead. You do not have to see it clearly. Just sense that it is there. Shelves stretching out in both directions, high and steady and patient. Each inhale is like stepping a little further into this room. Each exhale is like the soft sound of pages settling. The weight of your body rests where it is. The weight of your thoughts begins to move to the shelves. Start with your chest. Feel the rise as air comes in. Feel the fall as it moves out. As your chest rises, imagine you are reaching for a book. As it falls, imagine placing that book gently back in its place. A small movement, unhurried, exact. Your thoughts about tomorrow have their own books here. Not one heavy volume, but many thin ones. Some about small tasks. Some about worries that feel larger. They are scattered, open on tables, left in the middle of chapters. As you breathe, you walk slowly between the shelves. The floor beneath your feet is solid and quiet. With each step, the sound softens, as if the room is padded with years of listening. Notice your shoulders. Notice how they sit. If there is any tightness, imagine you are carrying a stack of open books there. Spines bending, pages splayed. On your next inhale, feel that weight. On the exhale, picture yourself sliding those books onto a nearby shelf. One, then another. You do not have to close them perfectly, just enough so the covers meet, enough so they can rest. Your shoulders respond to this image. Maybe they drop a little. Maybe the muscles along the back of your neck loosen, as if the stack has finally been put down. The air in this inner library is cool and still. Not cold, just quiet. It smells faintly of paper and time, of ink that has already dried. Every breath moves that faint scent in and out of you. Inhale and it rises, subtle and familiar. Exhale and it settles again, like dust drifting down between the shelves. Bring your attention to your jaw, to the small muscles around your mouth. If they are holding, imagine a thin bookmark caught between your teeth. On the next out-breath, picture yourself sliding that bookmark out. The chapter will wait, the page will be there, your jaw softens as if the cover has finally closed. Tongue resting heavy, mouth easy. In this room, every thought about tomorrow has a place to go. You do not have to carry any of them in your hands. Your hands themselves have their own stories. Feel their weight where they rest. The warmth in your palms, the way your fingers curve without effort. Imagine each hand is resting on a thick, closed book. The covers are smooth under your skin, solid, unmoving. Those books contain everything you meant to hold on to today. Conversations, decisions, moments when you tried so hard. They are not lost. They are just here, under your hands, complete for now. You can feel how they do not ask anything of you. They simply exist, finished for this day. Your breath continues, in, out, a slow walk between shelves. Somewhere near your ribs, there is a long row of volumes with your plans inside. All the what-ifs, all the I should, all the how will I. Imagine them lined up, some tall, some thin, some leaning slightly as if they have been reached for again and again. As your chest rises, picture your fingers brushing along their spines. You do not pull any out. You just feel the quiet order of them. On the exhale, imagine a soft cloth moving along that row, dusting them, straightening them. They will be here tomorrow. They do not need to be read tonight. Bring your awareness to your back, where it meets the bed or chair. The broad, steady plane of it. It presses down, and something beneath you answers, holding that weight without question. Along your spine, imagine a central shelf, a strong, simple beam of wood. On this shelf sit the heaviest books, the ones about who you think you have to be, the expectations that have been with you for years. Some of them are bound in stiff covers. Some are worn at the edges. Feel your breath move along this inner shelf. As you inhale, the muscles along your spine may tense just a little, like hands touching those heavy books. As you exhale, imagine those same hands stepping back, not lifting, not reading, just stepping away. The shelf can hold them. You do not have to. Your legs extend into the distance of this room. Thighs, knees, calves, feet. Notice the contact points, the places where fabric meets skin, where heel meets mattress or cushion. Each of these points is like a bookend, solid, quietly preventing everything from sliding off into chaos. Your feet especially. Feel their weight. Imagine that at the very end of each row of thoughts about tomorrow, there is a small, sturdy object. A bookend in the shape of your own foot. It stands there, doing its simple job, keeping the line of books from toppling. You do not have to watch it. It will keep standing whether you think about it or not. Breath in, breath out. Somewhere deeper in this library, there is a reading table. Tonight, it is empty. The chair is pushed in, the lamp is off. Any open books that once covered its surface have been carried away, placed back into their places. You might picture yourself standing at that table, hands resting on the smooth wood, nothing on it, no lists, no calendars, no pages waiting for you to decide, just the clean, bare surface. Feel that same emptiness spreading across your forehead, across the space behind your eyes. A clear table where thoughts could come, but do not have to right now. Your breathing traces the edges of this emptiness. Inhale, and the space feels a little wider. Exhale, and it grows quieter. If any thought about tomorrow wanders in, imagine it as a small book appearing on the table. Notice its size, its color. Then, with the next out-breath, picture your hand closing it. Hear the faint, padded sound of the covers meeting. Feel the slight puff of air as it shuts. Then see yourself carry it, unhurried, to a shelf, sliding it into the gap that was waiting for it. The shelf accepts it, the spine lines up with the others, the title faces out, ready for some other time. Your body mirrors this simple action, muscles easing as each small volume finds its place. The space behind your eyes grows dimmer, like the lights in the library being turned down one by one. Not all at once, just a slow, considerate dimming, row by row, shelf by shelf, thought by thought. The walls of this inner room hold their quiet. Nothing presses in, nothing pulls you out. Everything that needed watching has been watched. Everything that needed remembering has been written down in these silent books. You are here in the aisle between them, breathing, resting, not reading, not deciding, just existing in the hush. Each inhale now feels like the soft intake of the room itself. Each exhale is another cover closing somewhere in the distance. A gentle, final sound, then stillness. Shelves of quiet stories all around you. All of them patient, all of them willing to wait until morning. Each exhale keeps moving through you like a quiet rhythm that knows exactly where to go. That same rhythm begins to feel like footsteps now. Unhurried, soft, one step and then another. As you breathe in, imagine the beginning of a step. As you breathe out, imagine the foot settling down. You find yourself on a narrow path under a wide, gentle moon. Not a harsh light, not bright, just enough to dust the ground in silver and soften the edges of everything. The air around you carries a slight coolness, the kind that clears the mind without making you cold. It feels like the space inside your chest when the breath first arrives. Fresh, quiet, open. With each inhale, you're lifting an invisible foot. With each exhale, you're placing it down on the moonlit path. The ground beneath you is steady, firm enough to hold you, soft enough that each step sinks in just a little, like a memory pressed into earth. Your muscles respond to this path the way they respond to your breath. They do only what is needed, and then they rest. Feel how your shoulders no longer need to march ahead. They drift back, as if the path itself is carrying the weight they used to hold. Your arms hang by your sides, quiet as branches at the edge of this night. They sway just a little with each breath step, easy and unplanned. The moonlight rests along the path like a slow river of pale dust. It doesn't rush. It doesn't ask you to hurry. It simply lies there, waiting for the next soft imprint of your imagined feet. Inside, your awareness walks the length of your body. From the crown of your head, down through your throat, along your spine, a slow, moonlit path of bone and breath. Your inhale travels this inner lane. Your exhale follows behind, smoothing the ground. Somewhere to one side, the outline of trees keeps you company. You don't need to see their details. You can sense them the way you sense the edges of your own body in the dark. Steady, present, quietly standing guard at the edge of your thoughts. Your jaw loosens as if it too has stepped off a busy road and onto this country lane. Teeth part slightly, tongue rests heavy and calm. The moonlight seems to reach even here, softening every small clench and effort. As you breathe in, the path stretches a little farther ahead. As you breathe out, your chest eases, like a traveler setting down a bag for the night. There is a gentle crunch beneath your feet, but it is muffled, distant. You feel it more as a vibration than a sound, like the faint echo of your heartbeat in your ribs. A reminder that even in stillness, something in you keeps walking, keeps moving forward in tiny, quiet ways. Your back lengthens along this inner path. Vertebra by vertebra, it feels as though moonlight is touching each small bone. Noticing it, warming it just enough. The muscles alongside soften, as if leaning against a wooden fence at the edge of the lane, finally allowed to stop holding everything upright. Your breath has its own footsteps now. Inhale, a step forward. Exhale, a step that sinks down and spreads out. The path curves slightly, the way a thought might turn toward rest. You don't need to see where it goes. The curve itself is comforting, like the natural rounding of your spine as it settles into the surface beneath you. Feel your hips as the quiet crossroads of this walk, each side of your body meeting there, like two tracks joining into one. With every exhale, the muscles around your hips loosen. They no longer brace for the next thing. They simply follow the slow, steady rhythm of this moonlit wandering. Your legs in this inner landscape move with an easy swing. No rush, no strain. Knees unbend and bend again, as if the path itself is guiding them, as if the earth has become a patient teacher in how to move gently. Notice your calves, your ankles, your feet. Even if they are still where you are resting, in this walk they feel light, almost weightless. They know the shape of the path without needing to look. Every stone has been worn smooth by nights like this, by people who needed a place to wander without being watched by the day. The forest edge keeps pace with you. Branches reach overhead in a loose arch, not closing in, just sketching a soft ceiling between you and the sky. The moon slips through in pieces, laying broken patches of light across the path. Your breath follows these patches, bright on the inhale, dimming on the exhale, like lanterns slowly swinging. Inside your chest, something similar happens. The inhale brightens the space, widening your ribs just a little. The exhale draws a curtain of calm across that light, not to hide it, but to rest it. The country lane stretches on, but there is no destination pressing on you. This walk is not about arriving, it is about the feeling of each step leaving the ground, floating for a moment, then finding its place again. Thoughts may appear at the edge of this path, like shapes between the trees. They stand there for a while, then fade back into the dark. You don't have to follow them. You can stay with the simple act of walking breath-matching step, step-matching breath. The night air feels like the space behind your closed eyes. Cool, deep, and gentle. It brushes your cheeks the way your breath brushes the inside of your throat. Barely there, but steady, constant, reliable. As you continue along this moonlit way, your muscles understand that this is a softer kind of movement. Your chest moves less. Your belly rises and falls in a slow, low rhythm, like a long stretch of path with no hills at all. Just level ground, easy to cross. Your hands, wherever they rest, grow heavier, as though they've been walking too, and have finally found a gatepost to lean on. Fingers curl or uncurl in their own time. The small joints quiet down, like pebbles settling at the side of the lane. Ahead, the path seems to blur slightly in the moonlight, edges melting into shadow. You can still feel it underfoot, but it takes less effort now. Your inner steps become smaller, softer, almost like gliding. Breath carries you more than muscles do. Each inhale is the faint lifting of a foot. Each exhale is a long, slow placing down and a pause where nothing needs to happen. The trees at the forest edge lean in just enough to soften the wind. It moves through leaves and branches in a hush, like someone smoothing out a crumpled map. Inside, your thoughts begin to feel smoothed out in the same way. Creases easing, lines relaxing. You walk on and time stretches out like the lane itself, unmarked, unhurried. The moon keeps pace above you, a quiet companion who asks for nothing, who expects nothing. Step by step, breath by breath, the path and your body become almost the same thing. A single slow line of ease running from the crown of your head, down your spine, through your hips, into your legs, and out through the soles of your feet. And as this line softens, as the moonlit lane grows quieter around you, even the act of walking begins to feel like resting. You drift along it without effort now, carried by the rhythm of your own breathing, moving gently forward into the soft, silver night. The weight of your body has been slowly loosening for a while now, almost as if something beneath you has been rising, lifting, supporting, until the edge between where you end and where that support begins is hard to find. Imagine now that what holds you is not a bed or a chair, but a quiet hammock, strung high in a sky that has forgotten how to hurry. The cords are steady and sure. The fabric cups the shape of you, knowing every curve, every angle, every tired place. You don't have to see anything. Just feel how this hammock holds you in a long, gentle cradle. There is a softness beneath you, like woven threads that have carried many nights before this one. They know the weight of worry. They know the heaviness of days that ask too much. They stretch just enough, never too far. Around you, the air is calm and wide. It has the quiet of a room after the lights have been turned off, when nothing is expected anymore. The hammock hangs in that wide, open quiet, not moving much, just the smallest, slowest sway. With each breath out, the hammock seems to settle a fraction deeper into the stillness of the sky, as if the sky itself is holding the ropes, steady in invisible hands. Notice how the idea of down starts to blur. There is the pull of your body, yes, but it meets such a patient, gentle hold that the pull softens, spreads, becomes something else. The fabric beneath you feels almost weightless, like a cloud that decided to learn how to hold. It shapes itself around your shoulders. It gathers under the backs of your knees. The more you rest into it, the more it rises to meet you. High above or far below, it doesn't really matter which. The world continues on with its clocks and its lists and its plans. Up here, in this quiet height, time has loosened its grip. Minutes don't quite know how to form. They stretch out thin and transparent until they are just space. The hammock hangs in that space. If you hang with it, thoughts may still pass through like small birds crossing the sky. They appear at the edge of awareness, move across, and then are gone without needing to land. You are simply the one resting in the woven cradle, feeling the faint suggestion of motion. A slow, almost imagined sway. If there is any tension still holding on somewhere, imagine the hammock noticing it, curving a little more under that place, offering a softer pocket. The cords above are strong and quiet. They do not strain, they do not question, they just hold. Held like this, high in the open air, the borders of your body start to feel less sharp. The outline of you begins to blur at the edges, as if the sky is drawing closer, smudging the lines. Your back melts more deeply into the fabric. Your shoulders no longer know where they stop, and the hammock begins. Even your hands, resting wherever they have chosen, feel a little less separate, as though the air has thickened around them, cushioning every finger in a gentle, invisible nest. Above you, there is only soft, endless height, not a ceiling, not a roof, just a sense of space that goes on without needing to be measured. Below you, there is the same, open, quiet distance. A depth that doesn't threaten, only reassures you that there is nothing you must touch, nothing you must hold up. The hammock takes all of that work from you. It carries the shape and weight of you the way a branch carries a sleeping bird, without effort, without question. If a thought about tomorrow appears, it arrives like a faint shape far off in the sky. You can see it if you want to. A small, drifting outline, but it is so far from this hammock, so far from this soft cradle of now. You might watch it pass, or you might let it fade back into the brightness around it. Either way, the cords do not move. The fabric does not drop. You remain held. Breath moves in and the hammock rises with you, just a little. Breath moves out and you sink just a little. A slow, skybound rocking, like the world itself is humming a low, steady note, and you are swinging gently along that sound. Here, in this height, the usual rules of weight don't quite apply. Your feet feel lighter, as though they are resting on a cushion of quiet air. Your legs lengthen into the hammock's embrace. No need to brace, no need to stand. Your chest is easy, ribs widening on the inhale, settling on the exhale as if the sky is breathing with you. Even your face can soften, the tiny muscles around your eyes and mouth no longer required to hold expressions or answers or readiness. The air above your face is cool and still, like the calm just before dawn, when the world hasn't decided what to be yet. If you listen inwardly, there is a hush here. Not empty, just spacious. Thoughts, if they come, are like wisps of cloud that the hammock gently rocks you beneath. They drift by overhead, changing shape, thinning out, disappearing into the larger sky. You don't need to reach up to touch them. You don't need to pull any of them down into this cradle with you. The hammock is enough. This soft, suspended nest is enough. Every so often, you might sense the faintest breeze, a cool thread of air that brushes along your arm or across your cheek. It doesn't disturb anything. It only reminds you that you are up here, in the wide, open quiet, where nothing presses in. The ropes above remain still, drawn to some strong, unseen point. They do not sway wildly. They do not swing. They offer only that slow, nearly imperceptible motion that tells your body again and again that it can rest. High in this sky, you are between things, between today and tomorrow, between effort and sleep, not choosing and not deciding, just hovering in this gentle in-between, where gravity has softened and the ground is a distant idea. If any part of you still feels heavy, you might imagine the hammock absorbing that weight, thread by thread, knot by knot, until what remains of you is light enough to be held by air. Light enough to be carried by this quiet nest, swinging in a sky that asks for nothing. Here you can drift, not toward anything, not away from anything, just drifting, held in weightless quiet as the night slowly folds itself around this small, suspended cradle and everything in it. The weight of your body has its own quiet gravity. It draws you down into the surface beneath you. Soft, steady, familiar. Around that small island of weight, imagine a wide, dark sky, not above you, but all around you, as if the room has slowly dissolved into night. Not an empty night, a sky full of distant, patient stars. Each breath moves through you like a slow orbit, rising, falling. Nothing urgent in it, nothing to solve. The darkness around you is not a blank, it has a texture, a gentle thickness, like velvet stretched out for miles in every direction. You can sense the edges of your body, and at the same time, not quite. Where the air touches your skin, the boundary begins to blur. The warmth of you meets the cool of the space around you. And in that meeting, the line between here and out there softens, above you or below you or maybe both. A single star holds steady. It doesn't flicker for attention. It simply shines from an impossible distance, a small, precise point in the vastness. Other stars join it, some brighter, some faint, like whispers at the edge of hearing. They are scattered without hurry, without pattern that needs to be understood. Just quiet lights resting in their places. Your thoughts, when they appear, are like those distant points, far away, not pressing in. They glimmer for a moment, then drift to the side of your awareness. Still there, but no longer close. Feel how time loosens its grip here. Minutes no longer stack in a line. They open out like this sky, wide, unmeasured. The weight of your hands has its own small orbit too. They rest where they are, and the mattress beneath them is like a tiny planet, supportive, unmoving, holding their quiet pull. Around that space. Soft, dark space that does not ask you to fill it. It simply exists, stretching out, giving everything room. If a worry arrives, you can imagine it as a little satellite. It passes through the sky of your mind, circling once. You watch its slow path, the way it reflects a bit of light. Then, almost without effort, it drifts farther out, until it is just another faint object in the distance. You do not have to chase it, you do not have to bring it back. Space will hold it for a while. Notice how your chest rises as though drawn by some gentle, unseen tide in the air. And as it falls, it is as if you are sinking a little deeper into this night. Not down into heaviness, but down into a soft, weightless dark. The darkness here is kind. It wraps itself around your shoulders, your legs, your feet. Not tight, just enough to remind you that you are cradled by something larger than you can see. Far off, entire constellations form and dissolve. They arrange themselves into shapes you almost recognize, then scatter again. Like half-remembered stories that no longer need to be told all the way to the end. You are not standing under this sky. You are part of it. A quiet body resting inside a vast, breathing universe. No separation that needs to be defended. No edge that must stay sharp. If you picture the earth, picture it very small now. A distant sphere, turning slowly somewhere far below. All its noise, all its bright days and busy nights tucked onto that tiny surface. You, for now, are high above it, floating in the soft dark. The pull of schedules, of plans, of tomorrow's wait, all of that belongs to that turning world. You can see it like city lights from a great height, beautiful but far away. Here the only light is from the stars. They do not hurry. They do not argue with the dark. They simply shine, each at its own pace, its own strength. Your breathing matches that quiet rhythm, in, out, like a slow, steady pulse in the fabric of space. If a sound reaches you from the room, it becomes part of this sky too. A small star that appears for a moment, then fades back into the background. Nothing breaks the vastness. Nothing disturbs the dark. The line of your spine feels longer now, as if it stretches out into the distance. Your legs, your arms, no longer stop exactly where your skin ends. They seem to continue in the imagination of this night, threads of presence reaching out into the quiet. Thoughts grow lighter here. They lose their sharp corners. They become like drifting particles of light, moving slowly between the stars. You can watch them float by without needing to gather them up. The darkness holds what you set down, every unfinished task, every unanswered message, every what if that used to press against your ribs. They can rest out there in the wide, unhurried sky. You are not lost in this space. You are gently suspended, supported from every side by the stillness around you, as if the night itself has hands and they are steady beneath you. Somewhere a cluster of stars feels like a quiet gathering. Not a crowd, just a few lights near each other, keeping company in the dark. You can imagine yourself among them, one more soft point of light in the hush. The more you settle, the farther away the edges of your day drift. They thin out like vapor in cold air. Soon only the simplest things remain: breath, warmth, the slow turning of an unseen universe. You do not have to hold yourself together here. The sky can do that for you. It can keep all your pieces scattered gently among the stars until morning knows what to do with them. For now, you float, not moving and yet somehow traveling, carried by the dark, carried by the soft, endless night that stretches far beyond any thought of tomorrow. If sleep comes, it will arrive like another star appearing where the sky was empty a moment before. Not with a sound, just with a deepening of the dark, a soft closing of distance. Until then, this is enough. Breath moving in its slow orbit, body resting in its small gravity, and all around you, the quiet stars, keeping their patient watch in the vast, gentle dark. Each exhale now has a quiet weight to it. As you breathe out, it is as if something in you is gently lowering, settling, drifting down through layers you cannot see, but can somehow feel. The surface of the day is above you now. All its edges and noise, all its sharpness, already a little farther away. Imagine for a moment that you are standing inside a small elevator, not a busy one, not bright or crowded, just a simple, quiet room that moves. The doors are open. The air is still. Nothing is rushing you. You step inside without needing to decide anything. The doors slide together with a soft, muffled sound, not a click, more like two pieces of fabric touching. The light in this little room is dim and gentle, not from a bulb you can see, more like the soft glow that lingers in a hallway late at night. You can feel the faintest sense of movement already. The floor beneath you has a steady, patient weight. It supports you without effort. As you breathe out again, the elevator begins to descend, slow, unhurried, like a feather that has finally decided which way is down. You can almost hear the quiet hum of the mechanism. Not loud, just a low, steady presence, like a cat purring in another room. Outside these walls, floors are passing. Layers of time, layers of thought, layers of tomorrow. You do not need to see them, you do not need to name them. They simply slide by, like numbers on a panel you are not looking at. The elevator knows the way down. Your body knows too. With each breath, the sense of dropping deepens. Not a falling, more like sinking into a very soft chair. Or into thick, warm sand that slowly reshapes itself around you. The outline of your body begins to blur. The exact place where your back ends and the bed begins is harder to find. The way your hands rest, the way your legs are held, it all begins to feel like one continuous thing. Supported, held, lower and lower. If thoughts appear, They arrive like faint lights on the other side of the elevator doors. You are passing that floor. You notice the glow, you feel the slight change in the air. But the doors never open. The elevator continues to descend. The numbers above the door, if you could see them, would be moving in a slow, steady rhythm. 10, 9, 8, not counting down to anything urgent, just marking how far you are from the noise above, how far you have travelled into your own quiet. With each floor you pass, something loosens. A plan that was looping, a sentence you were rehearsing, an old worry that had been standing very close. They do not vanish in a burst. They simply stay where they are on their own floors as you move past. You are no longer standing there with them. There is a soft, padded feeling to this descent. The walls around you seem lined with something thick and sound-absorbing, the way a winter coat absorbs the sharpness of the wind. Any echoes from the day are dulled here. They reach you as gentle, distant vibrations, if they reach you at all. The sense of time itself begins to change. In this moving room, there are no clocks, no windows, no sense of morning or night, just the slow, steady downward glide. Moments stretch, then fold into each other. It becomes harder to say whether a breath is long or short. It is simply the breath you are in. Your awareness spreads out a little, like sand that has been poured into a new container. The grains rearrange themselves. The pile flattens, edges soften. If you listen inward, you might notice tiny details. The way your tongue rests against your teeth. The weight of your eyelids, like small curtains that have already closed for the evening. The way your shoulders have slipped just a fraction deeper into the support beneath them. All of these are small signs that another floor has passed. Another layer of tomorrow has been left above. Somewhere far up there, the elevator doors of the day are still opening and closing. Conversations, screens, lists, they continue on their own level. Here there is only this slow descent. You are sinking through the layers of your own mind, past the bright, busy floors where thoughts pace back and forth, past the offices where worries shuffle papers, past the waiting rooms where decisions sit on plastic chairs, tapping their feet. Each level grows quieter, the carpeting thicker, the air cooler and more still. Eventually, even the faint hum of the mechanism becomes softer. The elevator is moving through the deepest floors now, the ones that are rarely visited when the sun is high. You might sense a slight pressure in your ears, not uncomfortable, just a gentle reminder that you are traveling, dropping into a different depth of yourself. The numbers on the panel would be strange here. Not 1, 2, 3, more like labels that cannot be written, places you know only by feeling. A floor where your body remembers every kindness it has ever received. A floor where every tired muscle is finally off duty. A floor where tomorrow has never been invented. You do not have to step out anywhere. There is no choice to be made. You are simply carried. Down through the layers, down through the leftover echoes, down through the last thin veils of wakefulness. Outside the elevator, it is as if fine sand is settling after being stirred. Each grain finding its resting place. No rush, no pattern it must follow. Just gravity and time and a deep sense of enough. Inside, your thoughts are doing the same. Small particles drifting down, separating, falling into silence. Some settle quickly. Some take a little longer, hanging in the air like dust in a beam of light. But all of them eventually come to rest. You may notice small gaps between thoughts now, little pockets of nothing in particular, like empty floors where the elevator does not stop. Just darkness, soft, quiet darkness. You pass through them without effort. The walls feel closer here, not tight, just snug, as if the building itself is leaning in, listening to your breathing, honoring the simple fact that you are here, alive, tired, descending. Somewhere far above, the roof of this tall building touches the sky of tomorrow. All the plans live up there, all the questions, they can stay. You are traveling in the other direction, toward the basement of stillness, the sublevels where light is low and the air is cool and untouched. Here, even gravity feels different, less like a force pulling you down, more like a hand beneath you, steady and wide, holding everything that you are. The elevator begins to slow, almost imperceptibly at first. The hum softens. The sense of movement becomes more like a gentle suggestion, as if you could keep going forever, as if there were always another layer of quiet below this one. Maybe there is. For now, you hover in this in-between, not quite arriving, not quite stopping, just resting in the slow, endless downward drift. The doors do not need to open. The world does not need to come in. You can simply stand or sit or lie in this moving room inside yourself. Breath flowing, sand settling, floors passing in silence. The shape of your body growing softer and softer at the edges, until it is hard to tell where you end and where the holding begins. The light around you has grown very soft now, not gone, just quieter. Somewhere in the distance of your mind, a lantern hangs. Its glow is smaller than it was. Edges of the room around it blur into shadow. Each breath is like a slow hand cupped around that lantern, shielding, not forcing anything. The flame knows what to do. It leans, it settles, it draws itself inward. Candles along a long hallway have already burned low. Wicks curved, wax pooled and still. Only the faintest halos remain. The spaces between the lights grow wider, gentle pockets of dark, not empty, just resting. Your thoughts move like someone walking past those candles. Slower now, less to look at, more to feel in the hush between each glow. A small lamp on a bedside table, its shade holding back the bright, only a warm circle on the surface beneath it. Edges fading into a comfortable blur. The brightness of the day has stepped back. What remains is a thin line of light at the bottom of a door. Steady, uninterested in being anything more. You do not have to follow that line. You can stay here where the light is softer than memory, dim enough that shapes lose their names. In this dimness, even your worries lose their sharp corners. They become outlines, then shadows, then nothing you need to read. One last lantern in an empty street, glass a little fogged, flames swaying with the smallest movement of air. It does not resist the night gathering around it. The darker it becomes, the less work the lantern has to do. It can be small and still be enough. It can be smaller still. Your mind is like that now. Once bright, busy, crowded with glare. Now just one soft source of glow, barely more than an ember. You are allowed to turn the wick down, breath by breath, not all at once. Each exhale, a gentle twist of the hand. The flame shortens, the glass cools. Shadows lengthen across the floor of your awareness. They are slow like the end of a long evening. They do not rush. Even the shadows grow tired of their own stretching. They pause. They lie down along the walls and stay there. The last candle in the room has a tired golden ring around its base. Wax cooled into soft folds. The flame above it knows it has given enough. It flickers, not in distress, but like someone nodding off mid-sentence. forgetting what it meant to say, remembering that it does not matter. You do not have to keep anything bright, not your thoughts, not your plans, not even your name for a while. The glow that remains is barely there, a thin thread of light along the curve of your breathing, rising with the inhale, sinking with the exhale. Soon even that thread will loosen, not snapped, just dropped gently into the dark. The room of your inner world is almost unlit. Just enough light to know that walls still stand, that the ceiling is where it has always been, that nothing has moved except the brightness itself. In a far corner, a tiny nightlight hums, not to call you back, only to keep the edges from disappearing completely. A promise that morning exists somewhere beyond this dark. The last light is thinning now, more shadow than shine, more warmth than colour. If it wishes, it can fade between one breath and the next, or linger as a quiet ember behind your closed eyes. Either way, the work of the day is over. The lantern can dim, the candles can sigh into smoke, and you can drift in the gentle afterglow where even the light is ready to sleep. Here you are, quiet, just here. Your body knows what to do now. It has found its own way into this softness. There is nowhere else you need to be. Nothing waiting that cannot wait a little longer. If thoughts pass through, they can drift on. You do not need to follow them. It is enough to lie here, breathing the way you are breathing, resting the way you are resting. Every part of you can loosen, even if only a little, even if it is only in one small place. The day has already set itself down. Tomorrow can stay where it is. You are allowed to stay exactly as you are. No change needed, no effort. If a small part of you is still watching, that is all right. It can grow drowsy at its own pace. You can drift closer to sleep, or hover just beside it. Both are welcome here. This time belongs to nothing and no one else. Just this breath and this one. The world can turn without you for a while. You can be as quiet as you like. If a thought of later appears, you can set it down beside you. It does not have to come into the bed of your mind. For now, there is only this soft pause. The weight you are carrying does not need to be sorted out tonight. It can rest on the floor outside the door. You are here, and that is enough. If you notice the gentle rise and fall inside your chest, you can lean on it a little, rocked by something steady, something simple. There is nothing to fix, nothing to prepare. Just this slow, quiet unwinding. If sleep comes, it will find you. You do not have to reach for it, you can simply stay. As the room settles, as your thoughts grow softer around the edges, even the words I am saying can fade. You do not need to hold on to them. They can blur and blur again until they are only shapes at the edge of your awareness. You can rest in the space between them. In the hush underneath every sound, the night knows how to keep you. All that was heavy can wait on the far side of morning. Here, in this small, quiet place, you have done enough. You can close your eyes a little more. Feel the last bits of effort loosen. Nothing is required of you now. Only this soft, easy being. If you are still awake, that is all right. If you are already drifting, that is all right too. You can float just where you are, held by the dark, held by your own breathing, thoughts thinning out, like distant echoes, and even those echoes growing faint. Soon there will be only the sound of your breath, only the warmth of your body resting where it rests, the day far behind you, tomorrow far ahead, and you, here in the gentle space between. Nothing to carry, nothing to do, only this quiet, only this soft, slow rest